Danielle slammed the car door shut, her heart pounding like a war drum as she stared at the neon sign flickering above her flagship burger joint in downtown Chicago. "You think you can treat me like trash in my own house?" she whispered to herself, tears stinging her eyes from the fresh wound of betrayal. But as the rain began to pour, mixing with her resolve, she knew this humiliation was just the spark. She'd return, not for revenge, but for a justice that would heal more than it hurt. It all started 3 days earlier, on a crisp autumn afternoon when the windy city streets buzzed with the usual hustle. Danielle Thompson, the 35-year-old CEO of Urban Bites, a thriving chain of gourmet burger restaurants she built from a single food truck in Harlem, New York, decided to make an unannounced visit to her Chicago location. Dressed in a sharp blazer and jeans, her natural curls tied back, she wanted to surprise the team and boost morale before the holiday rush. Urban Bites wasn't just a business. It was her legacy, born from late nights flipping burgers while dreaming of a place where flavor met inclusivity, where every bite told a story of resilience. As she pushed through the glass doors, the familiar scent of sizzling patties and fresh fries enveloped her. The lunch crowd was lively. Families laughing, office workers grabbing quick bites. Danielle smiled, waving at a few regulars who recognized her from the company's social media posts. But then she spotted Mackenzie Harper, her operations manager and the woman who'd stolen her heart 2 years ago, behind the counter. Mackenzie, with her freckled cheeks and fiery red hair pulled into a ponytail, was barking orders at the staff, her green eyes sharp and focused. "Kenzie, hey," Danielle called out, weaving through the tables. Mackenzie looked up, her face lighting up like the 4th of July. "Danny, what are you doing here? I thought you were in New York closing that investor deal." "Surprise inspection," Danielle teased, leaning over the counter for a quick kiss. Their relationship was no secret in the company. It had blossomed during long strategy sessions, turning professional admiration into something deeper, more tender. Mackenzie, a Midwestern girl from a small Illinois town, had brought a grounded warmth to Danielle's ambitious drive. Together, they were unstoppable. Danielle the visionary, Mackenzie the executor. But the joy was short-lived. As Danielle chatted with Mackenzie, a young cashier named Tyler, a lanky kid in his early 20s with a smug grin, approached. "Ma'am, if you're not ordering, could you step aside? Line's getting long." Danielle chuckled. "Actually, Tyler cut her off. "Look, lady, we don't do loitering here. If you need a job application, it's online." The words hit like a slap. Danielle's smile faded. "Excuse me? I'm Danielle Thompson, the owner." Tyler snorted, glancing at his co-workers who shifted uncomfortably. "Yeah, right. And I'm Oprah. We get all kinds trying to scam free food. Move along before I call security." The restaurant fell silent. Patrons stared. Mackenzie's face turned red. "Tyler, that's enough. This is Danielle, our CEO." But Tyler doubled down, his voice laced with something darker. Racism veiled as skepticism. "CEO? Come on, prove it. Show me ID or something. We don't just let anyone claim they're the boss." Danielle's hands trembled as she pulled out her business card. But the damage was done. Whispers rippled through the crowd. A few customers left, muttering about drama. Mackenzie pulled Danielle aside, her arms wrapping around her in a protective hug. "I'm so sorry, babe. He's new. I'll handle it." That night, back in their shared loft overlooking Lake Michigan, Danielle paced the living room, the city lights reflecting her turmoil. "How could that happen in my own place, Kenzie? After everything I've built?" Mackenzie sat on the couch, pulling Danielle down beside her. "It's not you, it's him. Ignorance. But we'll fire him tomorrow. Clean slate." Danielle leaned into her, their fingers intertwining. "It's more than that. It reminds me of every door slammed in my face as a black woman starting out. I thought Urban Bites was different. A safe space." Mackenzie kissed her forehead. "It is because of you. We'll make it right." But the next day things escalated. Tyler, instead of being fired quietly, rallied a few disgruntled employees via a group chat Danielle wasn't in. Rumors spread that Danielle was playing the race card to cover bad management. By evening, a viral TikTok from an anonymous account, later traced to Tyler, showed edited footage of the incident, painting Danielle as aggressive and entitled. Comments flooded in. "Typical. Affirmative action hire. the vitriol cutting deep. Danielle watched the video on her phone, her world crumbling. Investors called, worried about PR. Board members suggested she step back temporarily. Mackenzie stayed up all night, holding her as she cried. "We'll fight this together," Mackenzie whispered. "I love you too much to let this break us." Yet doubt crept in. Was Mackenzie truly on her side? Or was there something she wasn't saying? Danielle had noticed Mackenzie hesitating during the confrontation, almost as if she knew Tyler's biases beforehand. As the days blurred, Danielle isolated herself, replaying the humiliation. But on the third day, a fire ignited. She wouldn't run. She'd return. Not as a victim, but as a leader delivering justice with heart. Danielle stood outside Urban Bites, the same neon sign mocking her under the gray Chicago sky. Her reflection in the window showed a woman transformed. Not broken but forged stronger. With Mackenzie by her side, holding her hand tightly, she pushed the door open, ready to confront the storm she'd unwittingly unleashed. The restaurant was quieter than usual, the lunch rush subdued by the online backlash. Employees glanced up nervously as Danielle entered, Mackenzie trailing behind like a steadfast shadow. Tyler was at the counter, smirking until he saw her. "You again? Thought you'd stay away after that video." Danielle's voice was steady, laced with quiet power. "That video? It's coming down. And you're done here." Tyler laughed, but it was forced. "You can't fire me. I have friends in high places. Your own manager knows." Danielle turned to Mackenzie, her heart skipping. "What does he mean?" Mackenzie's face paled. "Danny, Tyler's my cousin. From back home. I gave him the job as a favor. I didn't know he'd." The betrayal hit like a gut punch. Danielle stepped back, eyes wide. "Your cousin? And you didn't tell me? After everything?" The staff watched in stunned silence. Mackenzie reached out. "I was going to handle it privately. I didn't want to drag family into this mess." "But you did," Danielle whispered, her voice cracking. "By hiding it, you let him humiliate me. In front of everyone." Tyler crossed his arms. "See? Drama queen. Kinsey warned me about you. Said you're too sensitive about race stuff." Mackenzie's eyes filled with tears. "That's not what I said. I was venting about work stress, not you." Danielle felt the world tilt. Venting? To a bigot? The woman she loved, who shared her bed and dreams, had confided in someone who weaponized it against her. "How could you?" she murmured, turning away. The confrontation spilled into the back office, away from prying eyes. Mackenzie followed, closing the door. "Danny, please. I love you. I messed up, but it wasn't betrayal. I thought I could fix him. Show him what real strength looks like through you." Danielle sank into a chair, head in hands. "Strength? I built this from nothing. Escaped a rough childhood in Harlem. Put myself through business school on scholarships and grit. And you, from your cozy suburb, think you can fix racism with a job." Mackenzie knelt before her. "I'm sorry. I was naive. But our love, it's real. Remember our first date? That rooftop in New York, watching the stars, promising forever." Danielle's resolve wavered. That night had been magic. Mackenzie's laughter cutting through the city noise, their hands brushing, igniting a spark that grew into a flame. They'd faced challenges before. Danielle's long hours, Mackenzie's family subtly disapproving of their lifestyle. But this felt different, a crack in the foundation. "I need time," Danielle said finally. "Fire him. Now. And then. We talk." Mackenzie nodded, wiping her eyes. She handled the termination swiftly, escorting Tyler out amid his protests. The staff, sensing the shift, rallied around Danielle. One server, a young Latina woman named Rosa, approached. "Miss Thompson, we're with you." "That wasn't right." Grateful nods from others followed. Danielle addressed them. "Urban Bites is about community, not division. Let's rebuild better." But as the day wore on, the emotional toll mounted. Social media exploded further, some defending Danielle as a trailblazer, others accusing her of overreacting. Mackenzie worked silently, her glances toward Danielle filled with longing and regret. That evening in their loft, the air was thick with unspoken words. Danielle cooked dinner, comfort food, burgers with a twist, like the ones that started her empire. Mackenzie set the table, their movements a tentative dance. I never meant to hurt you, Mackenzie said over wine. Growing up white in a small town, I didn't see the world like you do. But being with you opened my eyes. I want to learn to be better. Danielle sighed, reaching across the table. It's not just about learning. It's about trust. You hit something that could destroy us. Mackenzie's hand trembled in hers. Then let me earn it back. Starting now. They talked late into the night, peeling back layers of pain and love. Danielle shared stories of microaggressions she'd buried, Mackenzie admitting her blind spots. It was raw, dramatic, but cathartic. A bridge rebuilding amid the ruins. The next morning, Danielle woke to Mackenzie's note. Gone to make things right. Trust me. Panic surged. Where? How? Hours later, Mackenzie returned, exhausted but triumphant. I met with the board. Told them everything, my mistake, Tyler's actions. And I pitched a diversity training program, mandatory for all staff. They approved it with you leading. Danielle's eyes widened. You did that? For us. For you, Mackenzie corrected. Because I love the woman you are. Fierce, kind, unbreakable. They embraced, the kiss soft and forgiving, reigniting the romance that had always been their anchor. But whispers of doubt lingered. Was this enough or just a bandage on a deeper wound? As weeks passed, Urban Bites rebounded. The diversity initiative drew positive press, turning scandal into story of growth. Danielle and Mackenzie grew closer, their bond tested and tempered. Yet a new conflict loomed. An old investor, conservative and vocal, threatened to pull funding unless Danielle toned down the woke agenda. Mackenzie, ever loyal, stood firm. We fight together, she said. The boardroom in New York's corporate headquarters hummed with tension, the skyline outside a stark contrast to the storm brewing within. Danielle sat at the head of the table, her posture unyielding, while Mackenzie flanked her, a silent pillar of support. Gentlemen, Danielle began, her voice cutting through the murmurs. Urban Bites isn't backing down. The investor, Mr. Harlan, a silver-haired tycoon from Texas, leaned forward. Miss Thompson, I've backed you since the beginning. But this drama, it's bad for business. Tone it down or I'm out. Danielle's eyes flashed. Bad for business? Or bad for your comfort? We've seen sales spike 15% since the initiative. People want authenticity. Harlan scoffed. Authenticity? Like that video? It made you look weak. Mackenzie interjected, her tone firm. It made us human. And stronger. The meeting dragged on, arguments flying like verbal grenades. Harlan's ultimatums echoed old prejudices, reminding Danielle of battles fought long ago. But with Mackenzie's hand under the table, squeezing hers, she found strength. Afterward, in the elevator, Danielle exhaled. That was brutal. Thanks for having my back. Mackenzie pulled her close. Always. Remember our trip to San Francisco last year? Walking hand in hand through the Castro, feeling free? That's the world we're building. Danielle smiled, the memory warming her. Their love had deepened there. Lazy mornings in boutique hotels, stolen kisses by the bay. It was romantic, unfiltered, a testament to their resilience. But Harlan wasn't done. Days later, leaked emails surfaced, Harlan plotting with a rival chain to undermine Urban Bites, citing Danielle's personal life as a liability. The implication was clear. Her race and sexuality were issues. The betrayal stung, but it galvanized them. Mackenzie, digging through records, uncovered Harlan's ties to discriminatory groups. We exposed this, she said. Danielle hesitated. It's risky. Could backfire. But it's justice, Mackenzie urged. For us, for everyone like us. They strategized over coffee in a cozy Brooklyn cafe, their conversation blending love and logistics. I couldn't do this without you, Danielle admitted. Mackenzie's eyes sparkled. Good, because I'm not going anywhere. The expose hit the press like a bombshell. Headlines screamed. Investor caught in bias scandal, Urban Bites fights back. Public support surged. Celebrities endorsed, customers flocked. Yet, the victory was bittersweet. Harlan sued for defamation, dragging them into court. The trial in Chicago was a media circus, emotions raw. On the stand, Danielle testified. This isn't just about me. It's about every Black woman, every LGBTQ person told they're not enough. Mackenzie, as a witness, shared their story. Loving Danielle taught me empathy. We deserve better. The jury ruled in their favor. Harlan's funding severed. Cheers erupted, but Danielle felt hollow. Is this what justice feels like? Exhausting. Mackenzie hugged her outside the courthouse. It's progress. And we have each other. Their relationship, forged in fire, bloomed anew. Weekend getaways to the Hamptons where they'd stroll beaches whispering dreams. Mackenzie proposed one sunset. Marry me, Danny. Let's make our story official. Tears flowed. Yes, Danielle whispered, the ring slipping on like fate. But drama lingered. Mackenzie's family, long distant, disowned her post-trial publicity. They never accepted us, Mackenzie confessed, breaking down. Danielle held her. Then we built our own family. Urban Bites expanded, incorporating community programs, scholarships for underrepresented youth, safe spaces for queer employees. Danielle and Mackenzie led workshops, their love a beacon. One evening at a company gala, Danielle pulled Mackenzie onto the dance floor. Through it all, you're my home. Mackenzie smiled. And you're my adventure. As they swayed, the world faded, leaving only their heartfelt connection. A romance resilient against odds. The wedding bells chimed over a sun-drenched vineyard in Napa Valley, California's golden hills rolling like waves of promise. Danielle, in a flowing white gown accentuating her curves, walked down the aisle toward Mackenzie, radiant in a tailored suit. I do, they vowed, sealing their union with a kiss that spoke volumes, of trials overcome, love unbreakable. Guests cheered, friends, staff, even reformed investors. Rosa from the Chicago store toasted. To the bosses who showed us what real strength looks like. But beneath the joy, shadows stirred. Months into marriage, cracks reappeared. Danielle's expanding empire meant constant travel. LA openings, Miami expansions. Mackenzie, now CEO, handled home base but felt the strain. One night, via video call from Seattle, Danielle noticed Mackenzie's fatigue. Babe, you okay? Mackenzie sighed. Just lonely. Miss you. Guilt nod. I'll cut back. Promise. Yet promises faltered. A major deal in Atlanta kept Danielle away longer. Mackenzie, seeking solace, reconnected with old friends, including a former flame, Sarah, now a therapist in Chicago. It started innocently. Coffee, venting about work. But Sarah's empathy stirred old feelings. You deserve someone present, Sarah said. Mackenzie pulled away. I'm married. Happily. But doubt seeded. When Danielle returned, sensing distance, confrontation brewed. Who's Sarah? Danielle asked, spotting texts. Mackenzie confessed. Just a friend. But I felt neglected. The argument exploded. Accusations of emotional betrayal, echoes of past hurts. After everything, you do this? Danielle cried. Mackenzie sobbed. I didn't cheat. But you're always gone. Our marriage is suffering. They slept apart, the loft echoing silence. Danielle reflected on her drive. Was success worth losing love? Mackenzie, too introspected. Her naivety had evolved, but insecurities remained. Reconciliation came slowly. Couples therapy in a cozy office overlooking Millennium Park. We need balance, the therapist said. They worked at it, date nights, shared decisions. Danielle delegated more. Mackenzie voiced needs. Romance reignited. Picnics in Grant Park where they'd first confessed love. I choose you every day, Danielle whispered. Mackenzie smiled. Me too. Urban Bites thrived, but personal growth mattered more. They adopted a rescue dog, symbolizing new beginnings. Then a final twist. Tyler resurfaced, suing for wrongful termination, claiming discrimination. The case dredged old pain. In court, truths emerged. Tyler admitted biases, influenced by family, including Mackenzie's. She tried to warn me, he said. Mackenzie testified against him. I was wrong to protect you. Family doesn't excuse hate. The judge ruled for Urban Bites, but the emotional cost was high. Mackenzie faced her past. I enabled it too long. Danielle comforted. We all grow. That's human. Their bond deepened, a tapestry of drama and devotion. Years later, on a quiet evening in their Chicago home, Danielle and Mackenzie sat on the balcony, watching the city lights twinkle like stars. Their journey, from humiliation to justice, betrayal to forgiveness, had shaped them into icons of resilience. Urban Bites now spanned coasts, a symbol of inclusivity, with Danielle and Mackenzie at the helm, their love the quiet force behind it all. But life ever dramatic threw one last curve. Danielle faced health scares, a stress-induced episode, forcing her to step back. Mackenzie took charge, her leadership shining. In the hospital, holding hands, Danielle whispered, "You saved me in every way." Mackenzie teared up. "We saved each other." Recovery brought reflection. They mentored young entrepreneurs, sharing their story at TED-like events. "Love isn't perfect," Danielle said on stage, Mackenzie beside her. "It's persistent." The audience applauded, moved by their authenticity. Two women, one black and ambitious, the other white and steadfast, proving unity triumphs division. Conflicts resolved. Mackenzie reconciled with parts of her family, boundaries set. Danielle embraced vulnerability, her CEO armor softened by love. Their ending was humanely hopeful. Not fairy tale perfect but richly earned. Picnics became traditions, laughter echoing past pains. One anniversary under the same rooftop, stars from their first date, Mackenzie renewed vows. "Through highs and lows, you're my justice, my heart." Danielle kissed her. "And you're my forever." In America's tapestry, their tale wove threads of drama, emotion, romance. A testament that love, when fought for, heals the deepest wounds.